This is Yeat. I want to find out, why is Yeat successful? That's why I came to a museum today. I don't know what this is. Yeat reminds me a lot of this painting here by Rene Magritte called Son of Man. In fact, the apple on his face helps represent why Yeat blew up. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's talk about that later. I want to find out if doing what Yeat would do would actually make me sound better as a musician. In fact, I'm going to be making a song during this process. But first, we need to find out, how do we dress like Yeat? We're currently turban shopping, and I came to the only place that I think would have turbans. Don't judge me. There are only so many options. All right, let's go. Hi, do you guys sell any tonkas? Do you have any tonkas in the back? I'm looking for your finest turban. Happen to know where it is? Oh, you're sold out? Oh, Yeat's been here. Okay. So he was at Best Buy. Turban Outfitters? Yeah. Dude, that's where we're going next, bro. I don't know if that's a turban. Wow. Honestly, that's probably Yeat's girlfriend. But let's keep looking. Yeat would wear that? Think again. Would Yeat wear this? Not outside, that's for sure. What I forgot to mention is, if I don't get a 6 out of 10 on that rap song that I make, I'm gonna have to do Omegle karaoke, and I don't want to do that. So we're gonna make a good song. Would you wear this? No. Maybe. No, just kidding. That was a test. Looks like we have some turbans here. What a lovely surprise. You know, one thing I love about turbans is you can really be anything you want when you wear a turban. Maybe you wear this if you're feeling a little more extravagant. Maybe if he was on some kind of tropical beat, maybe he'd throw this on. But honestly, a turban allows you to be someone else. That's why so many people go to FurryCon, okay? No one can see your face. You can kind of do whatever you want. Yeat, in a lot of ways, is like that. George Lucas, actually, when he was making Star Wars, wanted Darth Vader have a mask on. And the reason being is people could actually hate him more if he didn't have a human face. When Yeat wears a turban, I think that's partially why he gets a lot of hate. But on the other hand, I think it allows him to express a side of him that maybe he couldn't if he didn't have a turban on. Let's keep looking for a better turban. Look at these jackets. I don't think Yeat would be caught dead in these, or alive. Can we be real for a second? The good news is, if I get a 6 out of 10 with that rap song, I actually get to have some of Yeat's cotton candy. I'm excited about that. Do you think Yeat ever wears? I think he wears satchels, right?
Just in case they want to try these shopping.
What Yeat likes to do is go to a designer store and spend all his money on random clothes. And you could initially say that's materialism, but if you think about it from an artist perspective, think how much you're evolving. You're changing your environment. Every time you see this this beautiful Calvin Klein, I don't know why someone would buy that. Anytime you see that in your environment, it signals to your brain that you've changed, that that's something new. Ed Milet talks a lot about that.
Your identity, the best analogy I could give you is like a thermostat sitting on the wall of your life. It sets the entire temperature for the conditions of your life in multiple areas.
And if you can do that through a new Gucci bag,
yes, sir,
through a new satchel as a man, then that's a little bit different. Toys R Us. When's the last time you guys have seen that?
He brought us into like another dimension because Toys R Us was gone, like for good. Remember the Bernstein Bears? The Bernstein Bears. He brought us back to the original timeline.
Chad just can't get over the fact that Toys R Us is still alive. How many Tonkas could fit on the elevator?
I've been listening to that new Yeat album, and it's got me like questioning things, right? So like, at what point does it become archaeology and no longer grave robbery?
Makes you think. I want to see like an arrow like Disney and then that. Would Yeat wear that?
Would Yeat wear that? I could see you wearing that.
I think if you paid him like $5 million, he probably would. He did the Minions video, so he has to. If you don't believe me that Yeat collabed with the Minions, here's his manager talking about it.
And then one day I was just on the bus with Yeat, and I was like, yo, like, we should do that Minions song. He's like, all right, I'll be back. He went in his room on the bus. No joke, bro, like 20 minutes. He came out, he's like, yo, laughing. He's like, yo, you guys got to hear this. And he played it, and I was like, what the hell, dude? I was like, this is the craziest song for a kid's movie I've ever heard.
You know, after being here for a little bit, we should put together a Yeat fit. Let's see kind of what we can put together at a reasonable price. I think there's like 70% off or something. So we're going to find out what we could do. No. Turn the city on. That's kind of weird. I don't like that. This kind of looks like 4L's font. But not the SpongeBob, let's be honest. Maybe if he got the same bag he got for Minions to wear that, probably. But probably not. I almost gave up, and then I found this jacket. Soon the rest would follow. All right, rate the fit squad.
Nice.
This may be like Yeat 4L days. Definitely not now. You definitely have some bling. This is a women's jacket, so I got a lot of room to show off my bust down if I had one.
Okay.
But probably won't cop this today, but nice job, H&M. It's also like July and I'm wearing this. This is pretty hot.
Perspiration ting.
We are now in the food court and it makes me think, what would Yeat eat? We're gonna cut that out. We're not gonna put that in. Okay, not gonna lie. I'm kind of craving some cereal right now.
I like cereal. I like Frosted Flakes. What about you?
I do. But you don't, Peter. You don't.
It's weird. It's like the more you act like Yeat, the more you want Yeat stuff. It's weird. I almost gave up on where to eat, and then I found Jimmy John's. Yeat actually used to work at Jimmy John's. This is on their website.
Stop the cap.
Just kidding. But he did used to work here. Maybe eating here will help kind of get in the mindset of Yeat, you know? You're starting at the bottom. I don't want to say Jimmy John's is the bottom. It's actually probably S tier compared to some of the other fast food restaurants. We're gonna get some food and we're gonna see if this helps spark some musical stardom. Let's find out. Do you guys have the Grimace shake?
No.
Oh, sorry. Can I get a number one? Guys, this audio is terrible.
Sorry about that.
In fact, after hearing the video back, I actually bought new mics. Maybe she is the next Yeat. You never know. If this video resonates with you, feel free to tell a friend. I don't make a dime from YouTube yet, but if you want to support me, feel free to subscribe and like the video. Thank you. Do you make music?
I do not.
Maybe you should. She could be the next Ice Spice. Could be. I'm gonna slap this sandwich, or this sandwich is gonna slap me.
It's gonna slap.
It's gonna be a slap off, dude. It sounds weird. I don't like that. This. We're at Jimmy John's. I'm now going to be recreating a famous moment in Yeat's life. It's when he made this legendary TikTok. Let's try it.
Stop it. Get some help.
What is up, guys? We are going to make a Yeat style song. We're actually going to make a couple of them. Rumor has it that Yeat makes 10 songs a day.
Bro, look how many songs I made this month, bro. Last 30 days, still scrolling, bro. I made 175 this month. I only made 21 this week, though. I've been fluking. I only made 7 today.
That's crazy. There was actually this movie I watched recently called Munch. No, it was not with Ice Spice. I wish.
I thought I was feeling you.
It was actually about Edvard Munch, who created this painting here. I feel like we've all seen Scream. The reason this is important is this artist, Edvard Munch, made okay, are you guys sitting down? 30,000 paintings in his life. 30,000 paintings in his life. I have a friend that's very much into fashion, and he explained it as, it's almost like microevolution. You create so many iterations, and at least one of those variants is going to survive. I think that's definitely the artistic process when it comes to Yeat, but I just want you guys to fathom that, 30,000 paintings. If you were to cram 30,000 paintings into 6 years, that would be, we're gonna do the math, 30,000 divided by 60. 500 paintings a year, okay? There are, okay, ready for how many paintings that is a day? Over 1 finished work of art a day. Think about that. If you wanna get better at anything you do, if you do it that many times, something's gonna happen. Let's make some music. Also, I think we all know whose mic this is. Just putting that out there. I almost forgot one thing. Now it's time to make some music. Oh, it's getting a little hard to see. Making these songs is making me just a little bit hungry. I'm kind of craving some noodle oodles. I don't know if that's a good thing though. I think I'm really starting to become Yeat at this point. Have you guys heard Yeat without auto-tune? Anything is possible. After creating a terrible Yeat song, I decided to film a music video. Just get T-Bone at this light, like No Country for Old Men. Have you seen that? Oh shoot. I'm on the phone, my demon. Gotta take this. Hello. I just downloaded BandLabs on this phone. We're at a red light and we're gonna make a song because being Yeat, imagine how busy he is trying to make 10 songs a day, trying to keep that quota, it's gonna be pretty tough. So let's try and make a song right now. Gotta hear the beat for a little bit. This is gonna be the worst song you guys have ever heard in your life, okay? Driving the whip like I stole it. Skirt! All of my diamonds are frozen. Woo! I'm on the whip and no chauffeur. I'm in the green like a gopher. What? Let's hear back. Oh, let me go! What? Ah! Pretty good, not gonna lie. You know, put Yeat's vocal chain on that and anything is possible, kids. Think about that.
Would Yeat ever go to Barnes & Noble?
He should. You know what book he would rent? He would rent The Republic by Plato. Because when you ascend to levels like Yeat, you start to ask deeper questions. You really start to categorize and try to define what the meaning of life is. And we really hear that in this new album. So I'm excited to see what this upcoming album is gonna be, if he's maybe found some of those truths or not. It's Kanye West's house. Pretty sick.
Yeah, this is great. I got this whole theater to myself. What the
One thing I love about Yeat is how crazy his fan base is. In fact, this is footage of his first show. I can't imagine watching Yeat in a venue like this. He's definitely scaled his events and his concerts. In fact, here's some more footage of that. Pretty crazy. I cannot imagine the mosh pit in this place. Me after every Yeat song. After finally finding a turban on Craigslist, we decided to make a music video. One thing I forgot to tell you guys is during this process, I'm gonna be making a song. If that song doesn't get a 6 out of 10, I'm gonna have to do a punishment. And I do not want to do that. So let's keep going. You know where this is pointing? The Twizzy way. Turbans have been acquired. Can you introduce yourself to the viewers?
My name's Jeff.
Well, Jeff, for this next 15 minutes, your name's gonna be Cole Bennet. Let's do this. Also, Cole, forgot to tell you, I only have 15 minutes for this.
I was in a rush. I told him I need a quick music about it in 15 minutes. We did it in one take.
Filming this was so cringy, but then I remembered where Yeat started from. Remember when I talked about this painting? Well, Yeat is actually a lot like this apple. If Rene Magritte didn't paint the apple over this man's face, we wouldn't know about this painting. In the same way Yeat's apple was his vocal preset. After connecting with Wyland and changing his vocal preset, he shortly found success after.
It sounded so bad, I didn't want to do it. I remember Wyland came over to my crib and gave me like his stuff he had on his like presets, and then it just made everything like way easier.
In a lot of ways, Yeat blew up off that preset. What would you consider your green apple to be? I ended up showing this video to 3 strangers and they didn't rate it a 6 out of 10. So I'm gonna have to do the punishment.
I'm cringing so hard right now, you have no idea.
Hello?
Who that is?
Our influencer? I wanna know, we taking a picture?
Well, that concludes the video for today. Any final words for the subscribers?
You know what?
I think that's what you just said. I think that's enough. I feel like we got it.
Okay. Yes, exactly.
Thank you.
I forgot the turban. Forgot the turbans.
Dude, thanks again for the Arizona. Guys,